So welcome to Canada International Student Magazine. I have an international student with me today from Hong Kong, and her name is Ingrid. Ingrid arrived around end of May and has gone through her quarantine and all. So today's topic, very exciting. We will be talking about getting your COVID vaccine in BC without even having a medical service plan from British Columbia, just as a visitor or as an international student. So Ingrid, can you just tell us a little bit more about how you register for your COVID vaccine and where you have found this information?
Yeah, sure. So my auntie told me to try to get vaccinated in Canada. So I went on to the BC vaccine website and check it out, and they are actually very friendly because they said that they are very welcome to all students with student visa or people with working visa to get vaccinated, even though you're not a Canadian. So for the Canadian residents, they can just book online, and but for people like me, I don't have the personal health number, so I have to choose another method to book it, is to call them.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So which number did you call to book?
So I have to call the hotline, and the number is 1-833-838 and then 2323.
Oh, that's okay. So I think the number is 1-833-838-2323.
Yes, and I would recommend you to try calling a few times because it did not work for me in the first time. They operate from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and I called really early, but then I think many people were calling as well. So it took me a few times to call them, and you will have a staff to talk to you, and then she will give you a kind of a fake health number, just a temporary one. For this vaccine, and you cannot use it for other uses, just for this vaccine only.
Oh, so it's actually a temporary MSP number.
Yeah.
Okay. And which you need to probably provide that when you arrive at this facility?
What happened was she gave me the number, and she also told me to book it online. You can also book it afterward online if you get that number, but she helped me to book anyway. And but when I arrived at the venue on that day, they didn't really ask for my number.
Oh, okay.
But I think you should still have it prepared with you.
For sure. So do you need to have that confirmation number ready then?
Yes, you will receive SMS and email.
Good to know. Okay. And what kind of vaccine they offer in BC?
They offer Pfizer and Moderna, but I think because I'm considered as the later batch of getting vaccines, so I think the earlier ones, they all got Pfizer for their first dose. But for me, I have to get Moderna for my first dose, and I can choose Pfizer or Moderna for my second dose because they are of the same technology. They are both mRNA, so it's just the same. But I think because the quantity of Pfizer is getting less in Canada, that's why people are getting Moderna for the first dose right now.
Since you brought up the first and second dose, do you know exactly how long you have to wait in between your first vaccine and the second vaccine?
Yeah, so I have to wait for 8 weeks. And for me, it may be a little bit long for me to wait because I have to go to Ontario in 2 months. So there may be a possibility that I may not be here when I get my second dose notification to book for it. So I told the nurse on that day, and they told me since British Columbia and Ontario are using two different systems, so they gave me a card that has a record of my lot number of the vaccine and the date of my vaccine and my name, and so all information is on that card, and you have to keep it with you. And then when I go to Ontario, they suggest me to book it when I arrive in Ontario, and to show that card to them because Ontario will not have my information on the system because the system only belongs to British Columbia. So I have to register only by the card.
Okay. Oh, good to know. So going back to availability appointments, is there a lot of availability when you book? Like, do they give you many opening spot, or how long you have to wait for the appointment?
Actually, there were not many opening spots because I called on June 2nd, and then when I log into the system and check, that there is only like I can only book for June 19th earliest, because there are other venues and they're all fully booked, and I can only book mine on June 19th, and it was of very late hours. And I think I have a friend who took the vaccine the same day as me as well, but he booked way earlier than me. But it's also on that day, so I think it's quite full.
Quite tight. Okay.
Yeah, and when I arrived there, there's quite a long queue as well.
Okay. Well, that's very informative. So what happened when you arrive at a community center or the vaccine facility center?
So the first thing is you have to wear a surgical mask. Even if you do not have, they will give you one. And you have to line up for the correct vaccine, because there's two lines. As I said, there are two vaccines. So one is for Pfizer, one is for Moderna. So make sure you're on the right line. For example, when I was lining up, the man in front of me, he was taking the second dose, so he wanted to take Pfizer, but then he was lining up for Moderna. So he asked the staff if he can change. So he makes sure that this man is taking second dose, so he can change to Pfizer. Because I also wanted to take Pfizer, and I asked is that I cannot, I have to take Moderna. So it's fine. So I line up for Moderna. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you can pick and choose which vaccine you want to take?
I think it's because of the quantity that everyone has to do Moderna for the first dose.
So they get to pick. So we don't
yeah,
have
second dose you can pick for Pfizer.
Okay. I see. So, so when it comes to your second vaccine, do you have to wait for the link to book it, or how's?
I believe they will send you another SMS by that time, and then you can go online and book it. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So what kind of symptoms you've experienced after the vaccine, which I am sure it will be different for with everyone. However, I'm just curious to know.
I didn't have any severe symptoms. Just like everyone, I have a sore arm the next day. I couldn't lift it up, but it's gone by the second day, so it's really mild. But the nurse also said that 5% of the people will have fever symptoms. So if it's too serious, call 811. Call a number called 811. And yeah, and I think a lot of nurses also recommend you to take Panadol after taking the vaccine, so your symptoms will not be too serious.
Okay, perfect. So last but not least, was the vaccine free of charge for international students and visitors?
Yeah, I do appreciate Canada has a very good welfare service, and it was free of charge, and everyone was very friendly to everyone getting vaccinated. Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know, and showing that Canada is really hoping everyone to stay safe and all. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Ingrid. It was very informative, and hoping the above information will be super helpful to our international students and newcomers to Canada. It's also a peace of mind knowing that we all get the privilege to get vaccinated free of charge as long as we want to. Thank you for your time once again, and thank you everyone. And please don't forget to follow us on YouTube channel for our latest videos and such. Comment, share, and like. We will see you next time. Please stay kind, calm, and safe, everyone.